not have the opportunity to make it to Championship Sunday. So let's see how this all unfolds right here. One thing that we neglected to talk about is that this is the loser side to kick it off. That's right, let's make some noise. It's Battlefield for game number 1.
All right, so we got Pikachu versus Cloud. Now, whenever we think about this matchup, obviously Pikachu going to be quick and nimble and going to be a terror off stage. We're going to see if Spargo can get back onto the stage. But of course, Cloud going to be hitting really hard with that Buster Sword.
Oh, no doubt about that. And trying to get it started early on. Of course, doesn't get anything off that top platform, but man, I can't help but to bring up ShinyMark and just his utilization of how to not only use the, oh my goodness, the platforms, but also to his advantage. He needed a platform right there. ShinyMark dropping early on, just 30 seconds into the game. Spargo going to go up in a big way.
All right, just going to get the SD out of the way here. Pikachu, obviously, with the quick attack, can do 2 little zips. ShinyMark with the input error, not going to be able to make it back on the stage, and Spargo going to take huge advantage of this lead.
That's right, limit almost online right now. I like what I'm seeing here from ShinyMark, despite being in the deficit, just keeping his jets cool, not doing anything too crazy, using Thunder Jolt just to try to find some openings here. Once I see Spargo hold shield, I'm going to run up and try to go for a grab as quick as possible, and I got to make sure I don't mistime that, because if you know if you whiff anything while Spargo's playing turtly, he's going to up be out of shield every time.
Yeah, and one thing about Spargo, when you're the best player in the world, ranked #1 currently, he is one of the fastest on the sticks. And this character isn't exactly one of the fastest characters, but he just is so talented at the game. Again, with these conversions, the down airs by the ledge, any kind of really active move is going to be very effective against the Pikachu quick attack.
And that's the tricky part about Cloud. It's not about the speed, it's about the safety in some of those options too. You know, I always bring it up anytime I see Cloud done at this level, but back air and forward air on shield are just monstrous. And I know Pikachu, very, very quick character, but even the most strongest Pikachu player in the world is going to really dig deep on what the answer back is going to be after back air. Here's F tilt in the corner. That's the Swordy Classic. Cloud's going blue, and there is the up B. No out of shield needed, but we'll go ahead and put a little bit of limit on top of that. I'm loving what I'm seeing right here from Spargo to kick off game number 1.
And that was such a great job from Spargo, actually not opting to go for the down air by the ledge because he wouldn't have had enough time to set up into that up special on the roll, right? Or maybe would have had enough time, but actually opted for the nair and reacted on the ledge trap there. Spargo really trying to cover as much options as possible with those reactions.
Yeah, he really is digging deep right here. I mean, using everything in Cloud's toolkit. There's another up special. Of course, you've gotten too close. And smart to even go for the limit cross slides at the ledge is going to give the opponent that false sense of security that it is their turn to attack or get up safely. Cloud can react very quickly out of limit cross slash. It still ain't your turn. Great stuff on ShinyMark for keeping it safe. Okay, standing jab.
And Spargo looking so dominant, almost trying to send the message here. That SD didn't really matter. I'm just coming through. And Spargo, with the speed, does play aggressive, loves to play that pressure-orientated play style. There's the air dodge. I don't know if you can make it back here. Does the double jump and gets back with the limit.
Talk about split-second decision-making right there. Spargo, it was looking real bad. ShinyMark, though, still has his number just in terms of percent differential. Has to figure out a way to get this first thought taken here and quick. No ledge trump, no back air. And just playing around in this corner. I mean, am I going to land on this top platform for both of these two opponents? Am I going to just land back on solid ground? What really is the game plan here?
The up throw is not enough, but the up air will do the trick. Not the strongest move in Pikachu's arsenal, but Spargo at a whopping 170+% here. Finally going to take out that first stock. We'll see if ShinyMark can maybe make something out of this deficit. You are at a very high percent, and you're going to need 2 very good sequences of offense, and here it starts, and gonna reset there into the jab, another regrab here.
And I almost feel like coming into this match, ShinyMark maybe just a little too haphazard on the disjoint that Cloud possesses. I feel like, again, Cloud, strong character, has some very glaring weaknesses. One of the biggest ones is the offstage gameplay. Now, he did almost edge guard him, but he got that limit at the last moment, was able to recover. I want to see more offstage prowess right here from ShinyMark.
Yeah, that's really where you make the money here, get the stocks in this matchup. ShinyMark, I like these rolls. The timings of these rolls, very, very strong. Going right through that back air, like you mentioned, back air, forward air, such strong and safe options on shield here. ShinyMark doesn't want to shield it, goes for the roll, uses that intangible dash, if you will, but the dash stack does not matter there. Spargo will go ahead and take game number 1 with the dash attack on the platform.
But you know what, though? I can't help but to feel like, you know, ShinyMark is certainly starting to figure some things out, and more importantly, just finding his footing, getting a little bit more comfortable, the right type of comfortable, not the comfortability that's going to come back and bite you later. Just starting to understand, okay, he does have an object that can keep me at bay. If I know how to dance in and around that, to bob and weave, to put it into more basic terms, I should be okay. And good on Spargo for getting ShinyMark up out of there as quick as possible. I've always felt like ShinyMark is one of those players where the longer you let him stay, the more time he gets to think. When ShinyMark gets to thinking, it's not going to be a good time for the opponent.
Yeah, and I mean, ShinyMark, in terms of technicality, definitely has all these very specific confirms with Pikachu off stage. Maybe we'll see a sour up air confirm into the forward air. That's going to be one of the trickier ones to line up here as Pikachu off stage. Oh, but the big hits.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming through, bro. I told you that forward air and back air not to be taken lightly, but neither is Pikachu's aerials as well, too, for much different reasons. Of course, the combo strings that we have seen from ShinyMark is certainly an execution test that he passes every time with flying colors. There's back air. Ugh.
And honestly, Spargo looking really clean, man. This down smash, sinking these back airs extremely low. Pikachu, a short character, so when you throw out these pressuring airs like the back air, you want to sink them low. The up smash, wow, the air dodge barely coming through for ShinyMark.
That's right. I mean, at the last second, that definitely could have done him in, but still up in it, though, ready to win it. And I'm liking what I'm seeing here, both sides, knowing how potent the other side is off of just one hit. Playing this one safe. Not tossing anything too aggressive, but early on the F smash, but right on time with the down there is Spargo.
And can we talk about how optimal that punish was on just in that situation? The down air will be able to take the stock, but a ledge drop up air probably not going to, right? So
yeah.
Spargo being very aware of, hey, I need to make sure this Pikachu doesn't get too much rage, and if you can get out of hand, even though Pikachu is really light. Again, a short character can be hard to hit at times,
They
right?
most certainly can, and I want to see ShinyMark use that to his advantage right here. We have not quite seen it throughout the majority of this match, but there's still a lot of game number 2 left to be played. I'd like to see him also, again, figure out a way to push that advantage into the corner and get Spargo off stage, make him sweat a little bit. Now, I've seen Spargo in the corner, though. You know, he's been in the corner, but on the offense, I want to see him really scramble for the right recovery. That's when you really get to see what makes Pikachu so potent in this matchup. Come alive! Jesus Christ, but ShinyMark ain't alive on stock number 2, because Spargo is making it do what it do right here in a major way.
Man, and we're talking about Pikachu edgeguarding Cloud. Looks like Spargo's the one edgeguarding Pikachu.
He said every point of the terrain belongs to me. On stage, off stage, don't matter, okay?
And ShinyMark really can't find some of these win conditions here. The offstage is going to be able to get out of the cross as you are in your final stock, though. That shield looking really low, going to slow it down a little bit, able to get the up air, but Spargo has been able to get at such high percents, and now the limit's on deck too. Even if you get another hit here, if it doesn't get the KO, Spargo is going to have limit. Off stage, this back throw not going to be enough for the KO.
No, not at all. ShinyMark not quite going off stage, but what I've seen him just do a moment ago was stand in the corner and just go for the blink, just waiting for either like a dare aggressively on the way down, either back or just something heavy so that Spargo can get some landing. Those moves on Cloud, you know what I'm saying, as potent as they are also very telegraphed at times, and what better time to go for a parry than when your opponent is scrambling?
Exactly. And now ShinyMark is going to get the back air. Wow, great DI coming out from Spargo, going to be able to get away from that. Now trying to set up the T-Jolts. Spargo still has a very hefty lead. Spargo has been playing a bit more aggressive, but can slow things down if he wants to.
Okay, we're just seeing a lot of fall-away T-Jolts, and this time not approaching. Now, before, he was going for, like, the approaching T-Jolt, and I feel like he was getting stuffed out with just normal cross-slash. Even the delay on it was enough to stop it. Now, ShinyMark backing off a little bit, knows the stocks aren't speaking quite to his favor, and he's chilling right here. There's, okay, I'm coming through with the dash attack. Show me something.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
Usually ShinyMark gets a lot of these openings where you can go into the Nair loops, right? Nair, drag down, going back into an up tilt or a re-grab. But ShinyMark hasn't really been able to get any of those kind of openings, just getting some of this chip damage, and it's not really enough here.
No, it's not. Oh, my God. Okay.
Immediate reversal.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, just when you thought you had a good situation, it is reversing to something just even more terrifying. And of course, Spargo just kind of putting on a masterclass on how to do with your opponent in the corner. Back air being -3 on shield means I'm going to be able to do whatever the hell I want afterwards. Goodbye. I will see you in game number 3, my friend. Wow. Jeez.
And we said earlier, he is the ranked #1 player in the world, and I think he's showcasing it right now. Spargo looking extremely clean, knowing how to get the maximum amount of punish, making sure that you're really taking advantage of the lightweight of Pikachu. When ShinyMark does give Spargo the openings, those big hits do come through in a big way for Spargo.
They most certainly do, and it's smart on Spargo to not go for anything that's like too trade savvy, because again, just when it comes to just the speed and utility of both characters, Pikachu is a much quicker character, so almost allowing Pikachu to swing first and then just putting the disjoint out and saying, hey, it's okay if you attack first, but can you get through the Buster Sword? And more times than not, the answer is no.
And ShinyMark opting to go with the slower play, which is something he is known for depending on the matchup, right? But you are going to allow Cloud to get the limit here. Guess it's not too bad now, Cloud. You want to generally get Cloud to around that 50% mark until you can start really setting up some meaningful edge guards where you can clip the double jump here. Spargo should be out of limit here soon. You can only hold on to it for about 13, 14 seconds, right?
It was like ShinyMark almost has that clock in his head as well, too. knowing when it's time, to apply that pressure versus when it's time to just let it run out on its own. ShinyMark doing much better right here in game number 3, trying to keep this one as even as possible.
Oh, man.
Big damage coming soon right here to a stream near you. There's back air and a dash attack.
Yeah, ShinyMark definitely didn't want that side special, probably wanted a quick attack in that scenario, but Spargo's going to take all the advantage of it. ShinyMark taking so much damage, does get the dash grab, DI's in, does get clipped by the forward air. Now, whenever you see Cloud DIing in, there's a reason for it. It's because Cloud does not want to end up off stage. Beautiful spot dodge on the last hit there, allowing ShinyMark to get that dash attack punish.
That was precision if I've ever seen it. Now, we did see a corner limit cross slash in game number 1 where ShinyMark just was not quite able to pass that test, but doing much better there. Down air. Okay, sending ShinyMark sky high, and that just feels like Spargo playing like a man possessed, just knowing how to catch all these landing options. More importantly, these improper landing options. Gets to Trump right to the nair, not enough to do it. And the blade beam to force recovery to the ledge, right into the down air. Spargo, you madman. Wow-wee.
Spargo, even in the loser's bracket, looking like he's gaining a lot of momentum here, playing so well. You got to be able to feel yourself in these situations, right? Really take the momentum as far as possible, and I think Spargo is doing exactly that.
No, he most certainly is. I mean, he is just an absolute machine here. But you know what, though? That's only one stock loss here, all things considered. Things can certainly still go the way of ShinyMark if played properly. Okay. Just kind of drifting around with the down air here. What the?
Oh, man. Spargo is getting very confident, and we're seeing Cloud go farther and farther off stage, but finally, ShinyMark is going to get the punish. Hey, calm down.
Yes.
I'm still Pikachu, all right?
I'm still Pikachu, and more importantly, I'm still the best one in the business, okay? I didn't get to top 8 for no reason.
Wow,
I certainly know my way around a Cloud.
Yeah, the DI there on point from Spargo, but it's just harder for Pikachu at these lower percents, especially with the rage, to get those back air strings that we saw, maybe year 1 of Ultimate, but the defensive game has evolved since then.
No, it most certainly has here for both opponents, and I'm loving what I'm seeing right here. It's been an execution test, of course, just of, offense, but the defense, too. Going to go for the drag down there, the double nair right here. And again, just kind of building out.
Sour up air string into forward air. Oh, it didn't connect, but can you finish the job?
ShinyMark said, who are you feeling like, man? Don't come off this stage anymore. I think I've realized my calling here. Trying to beat you in the ground game, not quite going my favor, but off stage is a much different story.
Man, ShinyMark getting such a great string in the forward air, just not fully connecting there. So unfortunate. That would have been the stock. Spargo was so close to the blast zone, but now Spargo, another lease at life here for the second stock. Oh, well, oh man, hold up.
I'm about to say the stock count ain't quite speaking to the favor, okay, of an up special KO right there, but we'll send that message that it is an option later on if we get caught in this spot again. Gonna go for the one swing right there on the cross slash. Off stage, I got to see a big play, and I got to see it right here from ShinyMark. He's doing that thing that he always does where he plays both sides of the ledge up underneath the stage, but unfortunately, you need to be on the stage to get some real damage going, and Spargo, of course, knows how to do that beautifully.
Limit climb hazard. Spargo covering so much different options. That is going to be the quickest limit option, is going to be that climb hazard, that up special. Not going to be able to seal the deal on the edge guard there. Now Spargo going to be able to charge up this limit and probably going to have limit for the next edge guard attempt here if ShinyMark can even get that neutral opening. Yeah,
I mean, again, it's just really a matter of time. This match, unfortunately, starting to kind of trail out of control here for ShinyMark. If there was ever time to make a big play, it is most certainly now.
Oh my
1% of death, the finishing touch, the cherry on top, whatever you want to call it, the damage, it just don't stop. It goes to Spargo right here to kick top 8 off.
And I'm not going to lie, that looks like someone who wants to take the whole damn tournament home. Spargo looking so clean there. ShinyMark was doing that neutral air dodge from the platform, dropping down. And Spargo, finishing touch only does 1% damage, but it's got a hell of a knockback.
And that's all that matters at the end of the day. I need you out in that blast zone. I need you past the blast zone. That's the real point of the game.
Baby.
Up to the skies, baby. Great stuff right there to both of those two to kick off this match, of course. Obviously all competitive prowess aside, I mean, it's just nice to see two young phenoms, two young juggernauts, meet in bracket like that. Not entirely sure the set count between those two, how many times they've played, but with us kind of nearing, in my personal opinion, the end of Smash Ultimate, we're starting to write, new chapters for the next juggernauts in the next title, and I'd imagine we're going to see a lot more ShinyMark here soon. I'm here